time.
Yeah, and I mean, looks like the composition on the side of the defense is rather straightforward. They will be running the triple that we all have grown to expect on these specific maps, but there will be no May variation on it. But on the side of the offense, looks like they will be running with a similar composition, with of course the Hanzo variation on Cini. Cini, I think, loves playing Hanzo, so he is going to run out with it. So it's not just going to be a vision arrow for the sake of finding out what exactly the other team is. But now they're rolling in, and this is the exact same. I think the exact same strategy we see a lot of teams do: slow push in there and just try to build up ultimate. But at the same time, the side of the defense really trying to put pressure on. They know that they're not going to be able to engage until Ana really has ultimate. So they're using this specific time to get them a little uncomfortable. And Ube just gets hooked out of nowhere. So that's really, that's a 6v5 on the side of the offense. They probably don't need to wait for Ana. And the side defense, they're pushing back right now. They're trying to avoid as much confrontation as possible. They're trying to buy some time for Ube to get back into the fray. But they're just getting picked off right now. And man, Manaton again picks up Mesomorphous, going for these great hooks, taking people out of position effectively.
I picked the wrong tank to spectate, evidently. I was watching Ruster, but it was actually Manaton getting a bulk of the kills. Cini on the Hanzo is another common DPS added in with the triple support, triple tank. You basically just replace your Zen with the Hanzo to get started. We've got the nano-boosted Roadhog actually eventually falling there. Manaton getting, again, 2 more kills. There's a sleeping a sleeping Reinhardt here on the point. Ruster doesn't matter, though, as they end up capping the point anyway. So the very early picks ended up bleeding into a full wipe there. Everything looking good now for the offense. Luminosities, Manaton actually doing a lot to drive that forward, and Cini already way up, shooting arrows into the returning defenders' spawn area, not allowing them to get set up too early, which is good stuff. And also Zarya's there with him just to make sure he doesn't bite the bullet too fast.
Yeah, a big part right here is basically Cini getting that little bit of vision, moving out forward. They're not going to be able to get that great initial setup. That Transcendence is able to buy some time, but we can't help but feel it's being wasted a little bit. And that Graviton Surge catches so many up and right into the middle of this Sated Dragon. So that's huge on that side. Ube tries to get a hold hog, but is unable to do much, unable to push everyone away because the rest of the team is dead. He can't do much. Granted, does get hooked in, able to get drop a Bio Nade, and that's about it on that end. So they're able to get a really relatively good push moving forward. They do have a few ultimates on the side of the offense. They do have the hold hog to potentially stall everything out, and they do have the the Earth Shatter on Ruster to potentially mitigate any additional damage or any engagement from the side of the defense.
I think Manaton has been the driving force so far on both A and B. Obviously, Graviton Surge helped out a lot, but the Dragon sailing through the Graviton Surge definitely got the job done. Manaton getting the picks where necessary. Whole Hog does bounce away that nano-boosted Reinhardt. Nano-boost out for the offense now as well. Graviton Surge comes out from the subway, grabs a lot of members, but no real follow-up. Actually, Mete on his own, able to get 3 of those kills, 4 kills. Good stuff there from the defensive Zarya, finally putting a stop to this push in the streets phase. I was thinking it was going to be a little bit of a waste, as the fight had already progressed past the subway, but it grabbed so many members, and I guess Mete had the damage charge to go with it because he got 4 kills so quickly, and now offense having to regroup here. Cini does have his Dragon Strike available in just a moment. 1 or 2 more arrows should seal the deal, but he doesn't have anything to combo it with, so I'm curious if he's going to let it fly or hang on to it.
Yeah, right now Cabal does have that Transcendence, which can buy a lot of room, but Ruster right now with that Nano Boost, and of course the Dragons picking off people in the background, driving them back. Ana's nowhere near the line of sight right now, but Mesomorph is able to buy some time with that Earth Shatter, and that reverse counter Earth Shatter from Ruster, unfortunately taken out, so he wasn't able to follow up as much as he wanted to. That whole hog is just pushing everyone away. The defense burns out so many ultimates right now, but the offense, they need to play smart. I mean, the defense does still have that Graviton Surge. They do have the opportunity to stall this out even further if they can land it right in the chokehold. Beside the offense, they're waiting for Manaton to get ult, they're waiting for Mineral to get ult, and Cini just switched onto the Winston. So they're going for the 4 tank combination, hopefully to burst through a lot of the initial damage.
It's interesting, yeah, 4 tanks on the attacking side. I was thinking Reaper might be a good addition, but they're actually just going even heavier defense, sort of, sustain-wise, but Ana Grenade into that Graviton Surge, easy cleanup there for the defense. That was another big Mete Graviton Surge, saving the day once again. The fact that he built it up so quickly is really a testament to how dominant they're looking now on defense. After such a hot start from LG, they have to be feeling bad now as they cannot get that cart moving again. I'm going to start with Manaton here, as he does have that whole hog, and he's been getting those instant kill hook combos throughout the game, so it could be a good one to watch here during the streets fight.
Double nano boost into the Graviton Surge, and that Ana grenade is just so dangerous. I mean, that's gotta suck when you're trying to drop down your ultimate Transcendence, heal everyone, and someone just drops a basic ability with like a 12-second cooldown right into it and negates everything you ever wanted to do. I mean, that's exactly why Ana's so good right now, is because Zenyatta used to be a huge problem in terms of damaging through Transcendence, but right now you can just drop a bio grenade in there and it gets all the healing from your team, and that's just huge.
Yeah, finally they do reach that second checkpoint, so they've got 3 minutes to push the last stretch. Hook swings and misses, unfortunately, through the gap there, but they're going to break down that Reinhardt shield fairly quickly. Yubei getting the first kill on Cini will slow down the offense a bit, but the 4 tanks did work out the first time they switched to it, so I can't really fault them for it. Now that they've got this checkpoint, Winston's going to be able to return to the fight fairly quickly, but no DPS characters. I still would like to see a Reaper or a McCree here just for some consistent damage, but this composition just plays so differently. Graviton Surge, Earthshatter all out now. No Transcendence to keep everybody healthy, though, and it is going to be the offense getting the first couple of kills, but defense actually wrangling things quite easily now. Will grab control of the cart again. LDLC doing a good job. Now pushing up all the way toward the spawn, actually. Mete trying to block them from coming in, but Ruster just going to charge right back out, keep this fight extended.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the big problem on the side of the offense, is they don't really have a lot of tools remaining. You do have the nano boost and the whole hog and, you know, the Earthshatter, but at the same time, the opposite side on the same team has very similar things. They need to get a Cruise Graviton Surge to keep everyone locked up in the back line, so that gives enough time for the front line of the defense to deal with anything. And of course, that sound barrier buys them even more time with even more health, and Ruster has his back turned, and he can't do anything right now. He's trying to jump backwards and do anything he can, but Manitin does go down to Mete, so they might just honestly be looking to stall Ruster right now, and Ruster does go down to the hands of Ube, and they're just pushing all the way to their spawn. They're making sure they can't get out.
Mete is having the Zarya defense of his life right now. He launched a Graviton Surge to start that fight. He's at 84% ult already. He's literally just lasering down Roadhogs and Reinhardts and building a 1% every second that he's actually trained on those targets. He's already got a Graviton Surge again. Mete, he's going to launch it right here in the middle of these tanks. Winston shield already broken, and just lobs it in there. And a grenade stops everyone from healing. Manitin extremely low. Does catch that sound barrier, but of course Mete is just going to hop on him. He's still at high damage, but the hook finally stops him. Ruster actually way up in the front with that nano boost, I'm assuming. Actually, no, he didn't even need the nano boost. It must have just been a nice Earthshatter. Sorry to miss that, viewers, but Mete was just having such a hot game there. I wanted to see if he could rack up even more kills, but defense finally do fall. Cart regained by the attacking team. Luminosity Gaming have 40 seconds to try and drive this thing home, but defense is going to have something to say about it. They've got a few ults of their own.
Yeah, and I mean, they do get a good Earthshatter right now, taking down a few of the targets, but the whole hog is doing more than enough to keep Mesomorphous away from the rest of the team. Yes, Cabal is able to get, you know, Transcendence, but that Transcendence is going to die out soon enough, and man, just not a lot of options. But on the side of you know, LDLC, they are able to potentially stall us out a little more, get some quality kills on there. Unfortunately, I think Ube jumps off, but they are able to round up the rest of this fight. But I have to say, Mete, at that little part in the beginning of the engagement, got a little greedy. I think he landed another Graviton Surge and was like, I probably can kill everyone, but unfortunately, just didn't have enough follow-up from the rest of the team and kind of let his team out to die. But great hold from LDLC. LG, just no time left to contest the point at all.
Yeah, they had a really good streets phase, and then the third stretch was not bad either, so they managed to prevent Luminosity Gaming from getting that third point. The last Graviton Surge that we saw there actually was a bit late. He actually didn't grab anyone with it. It was just an empty Graviton Surge there from Mete on the defense, but ended up not mattering. They hang on, and Mete can feel good about his overall performance, as he basically was a one-man wrecking crew at the streets phase there with the Graviton Surge and quad kill of his own. Then the follow-up at Checkpoint B was so good, so Mete can feel good about that. They're going to be attacking this time around. No time in the bank, only 2 points for Luminosity Gaming, so all they have to do is beat this distance. You can see the parking spot, actually very similar to one that we had earlier today, so on the defense we'll have to see if they stick with this. Actually, Reaper is going to be perhaps a deciding factor on this Kings Row A defense. I will have to see what obviously LDLC come out of the gate with, but if they do stick with what we're seeing now, at least we're going to see some DPS characters this time around.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it's kind of tough because casting 3 tank 3 like 3 support is a lot of combination. Oh, well, he nano boosted in, his mouse wanting W, and there's not much else in terms of that. But there is some ana level, micro level play when it is triple tank against triple tank. So I think that is relatively interesting, and they are adding a slight variation on it, Cini on that Reaper, and exactly what you called for last game. I mean, that's so good against triple tank line, especially if they end up engaging into you because you have that damage to take care of it. You don't have to rely on Roadhog being the only person to really deal with it, so definitely a huge positive there. Unfortunately, they are not running the Zenyatta, which is a little, I mean, it seems a little counterproductive if you want to peel through a lot of tanks, but hopefully they'll be able to compensate with a lack of Zenyatta with that Reaper.
Yeah, if they can get the damage out, Discord won't be as missed. The fact is that Zen can just be really easy to kill in these early engagements before Trans is available, so if he gets jumped on, he can't really defend himself in the way that Ana can sleep dart somebody, for example. Ube getting the first kill as Roadhog, very strong start to lose that Reinhardt, and now Zarya goes down as well. Holy crap, LDLC coming out of the gate strong. Great kill there from Clanton. Ube on the assist to kill Cini, but Clanton hit a nice headshot on that Reaper, so everything going the way of LDLC. Did they even lose a single player? That was just ownage, to bring out a word from 10 years ago.
Yeah, honestly, dude, Manitin must feel so bad right now. Ube threw out 2 hooks and, hooked 2 targets and picked them off easy. Manitin hooks a target, and instead of bringing the target to him, it brings it into the wall. So, I mean, that's gotta feel bad when you're not even the best Roadhog in the server at the moment. But, that's fine with the side of defense. I think they should be happy enough to hold this. Unfortunately, they haven't developed enough ultimate charge, so they don't really have an immediate answer to the Cabal right now. Cabal nano boosts a target and they run it in immediately. They could get staggered, and this could be a lot worse. No answer for it, and then that Bio-Nade lands so many, and that Earth Shatter just takes everyone down. And I mean, this is just the momentum they have. They have no answer right now, and they still won't have an answer for a while, considering Ruster and Manitin, who are the closest to their ultimates, have both died. So they won't be getting the ultimates for a while, and by that time, Meta already has ultimate, Clanton has ultimate, and Ube has ultimate, almost has ultimate as well. So the offense is just in a great situation.
Mesomorphos cannot be stopped with the Nano Boost and Earth Shatter. That's just too much for anyone to be able to handle, and he knows it. He emotes on the cart afterwards, but full wipe definitely helps out. There's Graviton Search here from the offense, grabbing several members of the defense. Reinhardt off on his own, loses his shield, but catches the Nano Boost. Earth Shatter hits a 1. He's swinging away for the fences. Manitin with the whole hog, but also Ube with the whole hog. Who's going to come out on top? Clanton getting 2 kills in the mix there without a Deadeye, actually just firing away, so really good stuff for the offense. They've got 6 minutes to try and beat a distance marker. They don't even have to finish the map. They just have to get it to this terrible parking spot, and they'll be the winners of this first game on Kings Row. And they've won the last 2 games against Luminosity, so really just surging forward. LDLC coming out of nowhere in this tournament. NWA need to be on the lookout in the grand finals for this team. Hook into the... what happened there? Into the pit. But we have the defense now hitting a Graviton Surge, offense getting caught up. Clanton with some more nice shots. I have to give you a +1 for that. Was nice, says Mesomorphos. Not sure how he actually fell off the side there, but the game... oh, I thought it was going to end. It's actually still going with a nice sound barrier to keep it extended.
Yeah, and that was just so good. And honestly, good heads-up play from the side of Ube to stay behind that little point, stay secretive, so when he did use a whole hog, it drove them into the enemy team as opposed to back out to safety. So that was really good to misplace the defense on that specific point. Very smart. And obviously, game 1 does go to LDLC, so LDLC continuing their streak against LG, now up 3-0 over this GosuGamers Weekly. And we're going to about to see the next map, and I'm not... This can't be good. I mean, I think the team specifically was like, LG was like, well, we never want to face them on COD again. I mean, they were so strong on COD, so let's bring them to an escort map. Maybe we'll have a better time then, but I can't help but feel that Numbani just did not go well last time. This is the reaction here.
Well, Kings Row, very solid start from LDLC. I think they're making some new fans today. It's not often that we actually get to see them here in the semis and finals region, as obviously, again, a lot of the top-tier EU teams this week are not participating. They are already boot camping for that $300,000 tournament from E-League and Face It that will be taking place in just about a week and a half now, getting close to that September 25th kickoff. But lots of teams are boot camping. It's only a week away. That's going to be a very exciting live event with all the European and North American top teams in attendance. But as we move on to the next game, it's going to be either, what were our choices, Numbani or Gibraltar? So the fact that LG did lose Numbani earlier could factor into that. Maybe we'll be seeing a Gibraltar.
I hope we see a Gibraltar. I've not cast Gibraltar for such a long time, and I mean, it does give a lot of room to different options you can potentially use. Widow was always, I think, always strong on Gibraltar. Soldier is obviously very good, but it's all up to, you know, how they want, how LG wants to respond here. Was not a great showing for Kings Row. They weren't able to finish it, and I mean, they just got rolled on the defensive end. So this is already kind of saying, like, you know, you got to find an option, you got to find an answer to it, and maybe it might be playing a better triple tank, triple support, but I don't know. I mean, when, like, it's kind of the thing where it's like when triple tank, triple support doesn't really work for you on the defensive side, what is your next option, really? I mean, do you turn around and go, well, let's go back to what we know works in 2-2-2, or do you say, like, let's continue to commit to this? You know, this works. We've seen everyone else work, and that's, I don't know. Like, I don't know if LG necessarily has an answer to deal with this.
Yeah, I wonder if Pharah Mercy is going to be the answer, as we saw. I already forgot his name. The amazing Pharah. His name was really weird. He played Reaper as well for NWA.
Is it Hafizcool?
That's it. Hafizcool. He was a really good Pharah, actually, and the fact that he was able to dodge Roadhog hooks and McCree shots throughout that match actually ended up letting them win that game on Dorado. So I'm curious if we could see Pharah Mercy come out. I'm actually those reses were so good in that series that I was surprised to see everyone going away from Mercy. But if one team uses an Ana, the other team basically has to respond in kind. Sleep darts are really, really effective against nano boosted targets. They last about the same duration. So we have one of the players at BRB right now. This is an opportunity for you guys at home to, again, use a restroom, grab yourself a snack, grab a drink, whatever you need to do to be able to enjoy the rest of our games. Again, just finishing this best of 3 series now, where LDLC again are up 1-0 over Luminosity. No control maps this time around. Oh, okay, we're all back actually, so I hope you got your snack quickly. We'll be loading into Gibraltar for game number 2.
Yeah, and this is all about, you know, getting that push through the main shuttle phase. It's all about, you know, taking momentum from the first point onwards and using your ult advantage to take advantage of, using your ult advantage to kind of influence the upper ground in terms of the defense. The defense does have a lot of opportunities to slow your payload down. There's a lot of different areas they can come flanking, so it's very dangerous for the offense to go into the second point without an ultimate advantage, or at least without a lot of momentum, or without having staggered any of the defensive members. So definitely looking forward to this map.
Again, this is going to be another long load time for me. I think it's just whenever a map starts to load and I'm already tabbed out, like with XSplit stuff, and I tab back in, it just takes a while. So we'll get there eventually, but yeah, Luminosity Gaming, I believe, are Luminosity actually going to the E-League event as well? I think they are, actually. If I remember correctly, I'll have to double check that. But we've got Gibraltar loaded up now, finally. I'll update this scoreboard to give LDLC their proper victory. And we're also switching sides, which I didn't do.
Yeah, and that's fine. And on the side of the defense, they're running... Man, they're running the same composition again on LG. I feel like they think this is working. Honestly, I feel that they thought last game was not so much a great indicator of how well that comp is supposed to do. And I agree with them. I mean, it's hard to really come up with a big counter because everyone wants to put Reaper on this defense, right? I think 3-tank composition immediately screams Reaper. You want to do a lot of damage, you want them to run into you, and that's a perfect environment for Reaper. But I don't feel like that's going to be able to do enough. I don't think Reaper is as proactive as they really wanted here. There's no way for them to deal with the Ana, which has been a big problem, and now Ube is on the Hanzo, so that's even more range they have to deal with, and they don't really have an answer to that immediately.
Right, and that's why Hanzo keeps coming out, because he has that max range and can be accurate. That's why Pharah is also kind of a similar suggestion, where it's just like, we need to stay away from the tanks as much as possible, cannot get hooked in, can actually wear down Reinhardt shields pretty well, so Hanzo is a good choice, of course, to have a combination with Graviton Surge, but they're not running it this time, so perhaps an Earth Shatter into Dragon or something like that could pay off, but as it is so far, Hanzo just taking some free shots down at that defense in the server room while the rest of the squad pushes down on the ground. There's a hook to get us started. Ruster eating that Ana grenade very quickly is going to mean that he will fall very, very quickly. Good coordination there with the hook and Ana grenade to get that secured kill. Sini going down now as well. Looking good for the offense. They lose their Roadhog, but Nano Boost is out, and Mesomorph trying to get what he can, at least bust up that defense, if not get the kills, and the payload is about to reach point A.
Oh man, that's so smart on the side of LDLC right now. They were basically like, man, we don't even care if you contest us in that specific area. We're just going to push you, and exactly what they need to do. They need to stall the rest of the team, and right now, they have so much of an advantage. Ube is taking out Zabe, and Clanton is taking out Esfeld. There's no way for the defense to really set up for this. Ube is going insane right now, and taking out so many targets, and sure, yes, the payload is still stalled out back there, but they bought in so much time in this initial shuttle phase, which is normally so dangerous for an attacking team because the defense can hide up there. It's the attacking team that now has the advantage. The defense has to get back and find a way to deal with it.
Well, I've actually watched Cabal during that fight, very, very active with his Ana, just always be shooting, essentially, bad guys or good guys, it doesn't really matter, just as long as you're hitting something, and Cabal is definitely doing a good job there. Heal Grenade goes into the Graviton Surge just to keep everybody as high as possible, and that is actually going to be Ube falling very, very quickly to the Earth Shatter. A couple other members were hit, and the Nano Boost is going to pay off here. There's a Nano Boost from Cabal himself out on to his teammate. Sound Barrier keeps them in relatively high health, but I think defense is holding on pretty well here. Not a lot of damage at the front line, and as they start to fragment, Cabal and Reinhardt will need to back off. Actually, I think Lucio may be able to escape alive if Winston doesn't get to him. Yeah, he does. Okay, so defense hanging on to the cart ultimately, and Lucio and Ana die at the very end with that nice dive from the defense.
Yeah, luckily Ube does get the pick on Sini, so even though Sini now has Dragon Blade, he won't be able to use it for a little bit longer, but it's fine. He'll get back with his team by the time they're able to push through the door again, and right now they're just funneling very slowly. They can't even get on the payload because the payload was moved so far up, they really don't have, you know, like an immediate shortcut to do it. They will push through that little avenue right there to get some more distance on there, but now they deal with the shuttle, and this is exactly what they do. They're jumping down, they're forcing them to take fights.
Now that we've got a Dragon Blade out, Sini trying to find what he can, actually gets hooked by Ube very quickly and shut down. Kills going either way, but it looks like offense still has their tanks in play. Another hook onto Zarya could be a great pickup for them. It's 3 members standing for the defense, though. Zarya not going to be able to frontline by herself. Ube already used his gas up to stay healthy, and now the rest of the offense starting to come in. The hook was so big. Manitin getting caught is really bad for the defense. Now Whole Hog is available. We've got Deadeye and Earth Shatter available. This could be the push that they're looking for. Sini on the Reaper does not have Death Blossom available. He's lying in wait just in the corner here for a juicy tank to prevent itself. He does run out during the Graviton Surge, now getting a lot of damage into Ube specifically, but Whole Hog's going to repel him. We've got Nano Boosted Zarya doing as much work as possible. It looks like the defense is still holding on strong, though. They find the squishies. They don't let those ults deter them. Clown, Ana, and now Zarya all dead, and the defense still have more people alive. Good stuff there, lasting through all of that. Good positioning means Luminosity will hang on once again. 2 minutes and 20 seconds to move just a short distance, but it's proving to be quite difficult for them here in the hangar phase.
Yeah, and this is the toughest part of it right now when the offense doesn't have a lot of, you know, immediate solutions to this right now. Clanton does have ultimate, Mete does have ultimate, but the big ultimates they use to really control the flow of the team fight aren't up, and more importantly, Cabal's only at 20%. Meanwhile, on the side of the defense, they do have that problem rate to knock everyone back, and he's right on the top of the shuttle, so this is something you could potentially do, just knock people out of the way in that great grab. That search catches so many members of the defense all together, and then they just melt them down. Clanton gets a great double kill right there, but Sini takes out Cabal and Mineral, and this is just a immediate turn of the fight right now, and that Nano Boost goes onto the Winston. Honestly, they don't care what target it gets put on. All they want to do is push them back out.
Big kill there from the Reaper. Sini taking out Roadhog, and that is actually going to allow the rest of the team to find and destroy Lucio. Winston is actually stuck in here with a Zarya, but that's an easy cleanup there for Sini. Just run up with the headshot. We got Icefeld's Graviton Surge ready to go, Primal Rage, Earth Shatter. Offense lacking in the ult department at this moment. I will watch Mesomorph just in case that Earth Shatter comes out and makes a difference, but only 70 seconds left to try and get through the hangar phase now. Everything looking good for the defense. Every fight, even though the ults come flying, Luminosity ends with 2 or 3 people still alive and clean it up.
Yeah, they have no answer to this high ground push right now. The enemy team just keeps on dropping, and this other Graviton Surge, which, you know, is going to change the entire fight, and it does through the grenade, but they do manage to get a little bit out of it. Ruster does end up going down, but that's not nearly enough. You need to get more kills than that, and man, that's so smart on the side of the defense, holding that Graviton Surge just for the right opportunity. But Mete does get a kill. Sini does take down Ube, so this is still in favor of the defense. The defense is looking relatively good. The offense just unfortunately is just scattered, and they need to die relatively early because they need. They don't really have more time for more than one push. They need to die right now and regroup and hopefully get a chance there. 27 seconds might be just enough to form another execute, but Clown is still down, and so is Mete. So they realistically only have 10 seconds to get on the point. That means, hey, immediate Graviton Surge, immediate like Nano Boost, and if there's any answer, which there is on the side of LG, they need to do it now.
This is their last chance. We've got Nano Boost and Earth Shatter at the ready. Oh, the Nano Boost hits Lucio! That cannot have been intended. Die comes out. Nano Boosted Reaper actually falls, but he got 2 kills, and he didn't actually fall. He just fell on his back from the Earth Shatter. But the Nano Boost on Lucio, so sad. Definitely could not have been intended. That is round 1 complete, and great defense from Luminosity after A didn't go their way. The shuttle phase was an entirely different story. I wonder if they're going to be able to get through that themselves. These teams are very evenly matched, and this is the first time LDLC has actually started to wither a bit.
Yeah, and I mean that's just how stressful execution is. You know, you only have 10 seconds left. You need to make it perfect, and man, that's something as simple as Lucio just jumping across your screen to get closer to the rest of the team, and you fire that and just miscoordinated. And I mean, it sucks that's the way it went out, but at the same time, the defense had so many tools, had a great Graviton Surge available, and a lot of available options. So it's not even 100% guaranteed that Gain and Nano Boost off would have done anything. But obviously, I mean, there's always that chance it could have happened, and they were so close to that next point as well. So I mean, that's got to be screwing with their head. But in terms of this defense, they need to get that out of their mindset. They need to, you know, reboot, restart, and try to get good defense here. They do have a lot of room to potentially work with, as I just mentioned before. The escort was stopped right before the second checkpoint, so it's not like, you know, it was immediately after the first checkpoint, and you know they need to hardcore defense this first point. They can let them get through potentially this under the bridge, as most teams have started doing, and take advantage of this last point. Hopefully hold them for at least 2 minutes or even 3 minutes on this first push, and then try to I guess stall them out for the next few.
Yeah, this first point defense I find is actually one of the trickiest on Gibraltar, as there's really just not a lot of great positions to set up anymore. Back in the days of Torb and Bastion and Soldier just dominating, you would set up all around the ledges, but at this point we haven't seen a defense like that in quite some time. Server room is very common now, but being all bunched up in there makes you very prone to ultimates and to splash damage. For example, the nano boosted Reinhardt last time around just ran in there hammer swinging and did so much damage, and it can be very difficult to figure out the right place, especially when you don't know what offense you're going to get coming out of the gates. And this time it is going to be Cini with the Hanzo once again. Again, a safe pick against Triple Tank, as you can basically avoid a lot of that team's damage and just fire freely into some big targets, which makes sense.
Yeah, and right now, you know, they are letting them push through that, and they're sitting in server right now, but the big name right now you have to work out for is Ube, who's been on fire on this Roadhog. Takes down Cini, who is trying to get some free ground, but now they push, and they just want to take advantage of this. This is a 6-5 for the side of the defense. They just want to push them all the way back, gain some more ground back, you know, occupy the payload and force them to engage. But I think the bigger number right now is Cabal at 69 right now, hitting 80 very soon on that ultimate. So that is an immediate answer to any solution that, you know, LG has for them.
Ube has been actually really good this game. That pick that he got on Hanzo stalled this push almost entirely. He's waiting. Actually, I think maybe he heard the footsteps of Hanzo. Definitely saw that scatter arrow fly by and do a lot of damage to him. But Nano Boost is out. Hook grabs Cini from above. What a ninja play there from Ube. That was actually crazy to get started there. Just that pick alone would have been enough. But Ruster goes down as well, and LDLC are hanging on. Luminosity Gaming, I was wondering if they were potentially going to find their first map against LDLC, but this defense is solid as a rock.
Yeah, and they're not playing anyone out who can get caught out very easily. They're mainly just staggering behind Ube and Metamorphosis. They don't even care. Look, like, I mean, there's no effort that they're trying to put to get out onto the payload. They want them to run by, and Ube is back to get Metamorphosis. Able to get a little bit of shield and Nano Boost onto the Reinhardt might create some problems, but Clanton in the back line is able to do a lot of damage, followed by that whole hog. Zave is able to take out Metamorphosis, which unfortunately, I mean, that means that the side of the defense is a little bit short-handed in what they can do, and Mana to take on Clanton means that there's not enough DPS to be doing. They need to stall out the rest of this point. And luckily, that hook, I think, was all right, but Ruster charging in, you know, was able to do something, but Mete taking out Einfeld is just another opportunity for them to kind of clear out the rest of the point. Mete's still alive in the background for some strange reason. That great Graviton Surge keeps it all together and buys enough time for the rest of the team to catch up. Nano Boost on Ruster again, trying to do more damage, but this is ridiculous right now. Somehow the defense is still holding.
Great look, was that an Earth Shatter actually coming out from Meza right after the Nano Boost knocked the entire offense down. Everyone that was left basically got hit by that. Sini, I was watching on the offensive Reaper for a very long time, actually getting a lot of shots in, but not finding any kills. Every time he turned a corner, something would happen. Either the person he was shooting at would get away or die to someone else, so he just never really got a lot of damage in, and over the course of the fight, it actually turned against them as when that Nano Boost got prepared and the Earth Shatter fell. It was the defense standing at the end. 1 minute and 7 seconds to try and push this cart just a short distance, but defense has been looking so good. LDLC still have Whole Hog and Death Blossom to work with, so I'm going to watch Clanton's Death Blossom. He just teleported above, waiting for the sound barrier would have been advised, but he drops down early just to wear away that extra HP. Ruster's going to fall on his back. He gets taken out, and Mineral down as well. Manatin gets hooked in by Ube. They trade with each other. There's a Death Blossom from Sini, the attacking Reaper, trying to keep it going, but he is getting pretty low against this Reinhardt. He's actually surrounded by tanks in no man's land, trying to get the kill on Zarya. His friendly Ana shows up just in time to provide some well-needed healing. So Reinhardt on his own. Mesomorphous finally falls. Reaper's back into play now. Roadhog will be here in just a moment, so we got a trickle defense. The hook kill on Dacini, huge from Ube. There's a Nano Boost now for Ruster to go crazy. Earthshatter hits 2, and that's going to be an easy kill. Maybe a second there if Ube goes down. He hooks Ruster as Nano Boost ends, but he falls ultimately with very, very little time left on the clock. 2 minutes and 40 seconds now to try and get through the shuttle phase, or just to beat that distance. Actually, Luminosity Gaming have to get about 2/3 through here. They don't even have to finish the point, but LDLC need to regroup quickly and deal with this.
Yeah, luckily they do have advantage of that shuttle phase above, so they might be able to potentially stall out this fight even more. Cabal does have that Nano Boost, and exactly what they're going to use. They're going to push in, but the Whole Hog keeps him occupied, stops him from pushing in it. I mean, that's got to be the worst thing in the world. You Nano Boost, you want to do something. Luckily, he charges right into the group of everyone caught in that Graviton Surge and able to convert. So maybe, you know, he had that opportunity, but he was able to convert on it with a great charge, and Ube does take down Mineral at the end of the day, so that's going to be another person potentially staggered. Unfortunately for the defense, they did burn all of their ultimates, and the only person who's going to be up soon is Mesomorphous, so at least they have, you know, a temporary solution to any of the big engages. You know, LDLC will be able to, LG will be able to put out on them, and they're proceeding to a big choke point, but they do not see Clanton right above them.
And LG doesn't have anything to work with either. They're just going to have to hope for an extended fight. Death Blossom should be ready for Sini. Good sleeps kind of on both sides there as Clanton got into the back line but fell very quickly. And now the defense actually losing 3 members. This is the first chance here for Luminosity Gaming to try and push in this phase. Ana trying to book it out of there with a nice speed boost from Lucio. Actually does survive very, very narrowly. Defense will have a chance to set up again. Death Blossom at the ready for Sini, though. I wonder if he's going to try and do a teleport drop down Death Blossom. Always so dramatic, but very, very effective.
I mean, they need to do it now, and that Graviton Surge takes so many of them in, and that's not exactly what you want to see. Sini being able to take out so much of the early damage, and this is about it. And I'm just, honestly, I'm a little confused. I wasn't sure why the defense pushed at that little, tried to push through that little entrance, and 3 of them got taken out immediately. I mean, they need to be a little more patient. The offense was coming to them. They didn't need to do anything about that, and Mesomorphous getting taken out with that Earth Shatter is, that's gotta hurt.
Definitely overextended. Not sure. Again, you're right. Clanton was in the back line. He got a sleep dart and just fell immediately. So they tried their best here. Luminosity Gaming finally put a point on the board, and in a big part to Sini. It's got to be the Nano Boosted Death Blossom right at the end, if I had to guess. Yeah. Definitely puts out a ton of damage, thousands of damage very, very quickly in that Graviton Surge. Great combination of ults there. They use 3 to get the job done and win the map. So LG on the board now. They lost 3 games straight to LDLC, but managed to hang on in the last minute. This could have been their tournament life, but they're turning it around now. And we're going to have the decider on Numbani, a map that LDLC already beat LG on earlier today.
Yeah, bring it back is what it is, and man, I think LDLC really wants this win. I don't think they were super ready for Gibraltar. I think they've been banning out Gibraltar pretty often in their map pick bans, so they probably didn't have a set strategy for it, but they still managed to do relatively well and hold them to, I think, they were under a minute, I think, at that point. So back to Numbani, and this is going to be this decider match. Sees who faces NWA in the finals. Obviously, you know, both teams very strong squads apiece, and I think they both would be more than happy to face off NWA. But at the same time, I think both teams are learning a lot from each other. I think LG's finally learning how to deal with this triple tank, triple support composition, and you know, you don't really get to see a lot of Gibraltar play, so seeing a little more Gibraltar play and seeing exactly how to deal with teams on there is definitely a great learning experience.
Still came down to the ult combos every time. It wasn't really like a lot of crazy strategies or anything. It was very, you know, boiled down to who had the biggest guns during each fight. But welcome back, everybody. This is GosuGamers EU Weekly number 20. Myself, Ask Joshi, and Scribe OW casting for you guys today. ZP is back from his trip, but had some issues. Hexagram also tried to take over and had some issues. So here we are casting the rest of the lower bracket final and the grand final for you guys. Casters ready. Zave says they are not ready yet, so could be a minute, but thank you for joining us. This event is sponsored by Matrino, Ting, and OW Kings. Of course, GosuGamers is the title sponsor. They're bringing us the action every week. And NA Weekly will be tomorrow. If you're not already signed up or registered for that, you do have an opportunity to play tomorrow at a time where some of the top teams are boot camping for a very huge tournament. So if you have been you know, indecisive about entering these events, this could be your week. Casters are ready, Outbreak's ready. It looks like Luminosity still needs a little bit of time, but Numbani will be our third and final map for this losers bracket final, will be the decider. And again, LDLC did win this map against them earlier. We don't know how dramatic it was, if it was like a beatdown or not, but I'm very curious to see what's going to unfold. These teams are very evenly matched.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this. This is a big decider match because it does mean potentially LDLC could have the opportunity to rematch with NWA, or we can see LG coming from the losers bracket and, you know, saying like, hey, it's fine, we lost LDC earlier, but that gives us enough practice to go. We don't have to fight NWA very early on. We can wait for them to cool off and face them in the finals, even though they might have a one-match advantage. So definitely super excited. Numbani, notorious for having a very interesting first point, a lot of different heroes who potentially can see Soldier again on that first point, and of course Diva from the offense to mitigate some of that damage, or if they're planning to cheese at anything at all.
Yep, so we're just hanging out waiting for Luminosity and everybody, probably just a bathroom break or something, but thank you to the now 2,500 viewers. So we added quite a few viewers during that last series. Glad to see you guys here, and there is still time to get everybody into the chat, send tweets out and things like that, try and get people here. I might actually do that myself in just a moment, but basically just hanging out, enjoying some competitive Overwatch. We had some various tournaments actually this week play out. We had Alienware Monthly Melee August just last week. We had Lenovo Cup actually still playing out. That's another $8 grand online event. And of course the World Cup, the Blizzard Overwatch World Cup, has been pretty exciting. I don't know if you guys have been following along at home, but basically our teams are starting to be decided, and we're seeing some great matches already, so I can't wait to see everyone come together at BlizzCon pre-week. Is going to be the first basically big battle that we see internationally rather than just Europe versus Europe, for example. So that'll be all coming up soon over the course of the next month. Keep an eye out on Play Overwatch for World Cup information, but the GosuGamers EU Weekly so far has been a story of LG versus LDLC in the winners bracket and lower bracket.
Yeah, and they've just been bringing their A game, and they are a new squad. And that's something to super emphasize, that they are the mix. They used to be, you know, kind of a tier 2 team. Didn't really play in a lot of big tournaments, but they have slowly been making their name. Getting signed by LDLC definitely means a lot in terms of being sponsored by a big team. You know, that can mean anything from saying like, hey, we're willing to pay you salaries, or willing to take, you know, a little bit of the struggle off. Maybe you don't have to work that second job to keep your Overwatch career going. So that means a lot of free practice, and definitely excited to see them proceed against LG, one of the more noted and have like one of the greater pedigrees in the Overwatch scene. Too strong, obviously, being what they were known as before they were signed. So great matchup here.
All right, we are entering the game now. This is the third and final map again. I'm just going to let it load before going in, hopefully avoid the potential stream drop that's happened a couple times today. But yeah, excited to finally get started here on Numbani. And we did see, I believe it was Luminosity versus Tornado Rocks here, but had an unfortunate ending with Tornado Rocks having a player DC. But we are into the action now, just verifying my overlay. Of course, they did switch again. But at least this time I don't have to change the scores, as it is 1 apiece. LDLC on the defense to get us started. Luminosity will be attacking.
Man, come on. I hate seeing these compositions. Come on, it's the same thing over and over again on the side of the defense. But luckily, I mean, this side of LDLC, they are making that transition. They are moving Clanton away from, I think, another support player. So I think they're actually moving people around in a way so they do make room for that Reaper. I think they understand that they need more damage, and that might be something they were running into potentially. But on the side of the offense, definitely more of a dive composition coming out if Cini stays on, the side of the Genji and Einsfeld stays on the character Tracer. That's a huge dive composition. They do not have a dive tank, which is what I'm a little worried about. They are going to be operating behind the Roadhog and Reinhardt, so they might just be looking for picks with a potential side flank.
On the attacking team, Eisfeld with Tracer probably going to be going ledge side to get started, and will either zip into the building and behind them, or just immediately start gunning at any supports he finds out. But the setup here for the defense is kind of interesting, being all on the left ledge. I feel like that top right is used so often these days that the choke is basically cycling out. People realize that they're going to get spotted there every time. They're actually not even going for it on the attack. They're going all the way around to the ledge side to get us started.
Yeah, and this actually might be accidentally what was a good decision being up here, because now they can basically contest the point while also contesting their main push. And they're pushing right behind them, so this is like super hard to engage right now. But Cini, for some reason, just goes down so quickly. Yes, great hook in terms of on the Zarya, bringing her down, even though through the shield. But still a trade, 1 for 1. Defense does have actually a relatively long walk from here, so maybe not a great trade in that aspect. But Ruster does get slept to death, and man, they pull in Clanton again. So this is just super dangerous on the side of the defense. They're just getting picked off.
They are actually slowly dying one by one. Ube goes down, Clanton goes down. There's Ana as well, and Mesomorphous and Clown are over on the other side. Mesomorphous gets stopped in his charge, and Clown is going to fall as well. That's a pretty quick take, 1 minute and about 10 seconds overall for Luminosity to take that point, and things just went poorly for them up in that top right defense. I don't really know what the game plan was, so it's hard to speak to what went wrong. No one really jumped onto the point at any time during that encounter, which I think might have been a good idea once they were getting kind of bulldozed up there. But as the point gets captured, they're going to set up at the bus area, and the offense will continue to roll. They've got a couple of ults to work with. There's a nano boost very quickly onto Mesomorphous and onto the other Reinhardt.
Yeah, luckily that Urshar does catch out too, so Mesomorphous is able to, defend the rest of his team from the other nano boost of Reinhardt, while at the same time, being able to land and mitigate some initial of the push, cut off some of the momentum from the side of the offense. So they're basically cycling back right now. They know that Cini, as well as a few other members of the LG squad, now have their ultimates, so they're very careful. They didn't want to get caught out in a bad position. They'd rather have them come to them, come to the side of the defense, push through, and take advantage of the street phase. In fact, there's so many different avenues they can attack from.
Alright, we've got Whole Hog at the ready for Ube, who are watching to get us started. Sound Barrier comes out just in time for that Dragon Blade. Cini pops it right as the Sound Barrier came out. He also got slept and Ana grenaded, so very quick reactions there from Cabal to keep his team alive. And the Cabal gameplay on Ana has been very active, essentially just always running and shooting. There's no bad time to just be shooting away, and you can see that here as he's trying to dual Zave across this huge expanse. He actually can't shoot past his tanks because he just keeps healing them instead. But as the offense reels, they do have another opportunity now coming out of the gate. Maniton has Whole Hog ready. Good job to LDLC to hang on after that really poor point A.
Yeah, and right now that Deadeye is able to be challenged, and they're just hiding right now. Good zoning technique, but they're not looking behind them. And right now, Clanton able to get that, get some more damage on there, but that guard search keeps everyone inside, and that Reinhardt is just getting nano boosted again, but that Whole Hog pushes him back, so that's obviously not the best solution you want. But that Urshar does take out Cini right now, just able to push him back, force him out of Wraith form. Mesomorphous able to clean up a large majority of that fight, and defense, another great hold from the defense, and they still have the ultimates.
Yeah, Mete on Zarya actually using that right-click boost of Zarya to bounce up on top of the bus and then up onto the ledge. Who did I just see? Was someone above him? That was very interesting. Oh no, it's just a... Sorry, he's lobbing Zarya bombs way up into the air so that they fall on where the team is coming out of their spawn. That's actually pretty crazy. I saw his name tag floating. It was a little confusing, but Ruster gets zapped down incredibly fast. Really bad loss there for them. Defense losing Lucio. Still could be anyone's fight. Nano boosted Roadhog. Maniton running forward now gets right into the Earth Shatter and pinned, so no opportunity for him to get any damage either. Clanton on the Tracer actually getting quite a lot of damage in there unchecked. So Luminosity Gaming, after taking A so quickly, have just been lost on this Streets phase so far. Every ult showdown actually going the way of LDLC to get us started here on Numbani.
Yeah, LDLC playing this extremely smart. They know exactly what the win conditions are on the side of LG right now. They basically were saying, well, we don't have to use any ultimates proactively. The moment you get nano boosted, we'll just find a way to reply and hopefully take you down immediately. Clanton does get taken out, but at the same time, you know, the defense has a great graviton surge, and that whole hog is able to get move into an on a bio nade, just stops any healing from happening. It didn't matter if you were trying to get anything done right there. They're able to take it out, and Ube does take down, you know, Sini. So yes, you know, unfortunately, it is a good trade in the side of the offense right now, but that was definitely a bad situation. That was a 5v6 that the side of LDSC managed to turn around.
That was actually just a crazy fight overall, very extended. We have defense with an opportunity here to be able to contest again right at the checkpoint. If Reinhardt just charges in on time, and he does, Sound Barrier comes in as well. We've got Manitin with the whole hog. Nano Boost goes out onto the Reinhardt. Can he get any kills for it? No one's died just yet. Hook onto Zarya could be a good start. Mete goes down. There's a Graviton Surge from the side of the offense, and a whole hog goes right into it. 3 kills there for Manitin. Now there's a 4th on Ube. He's looking for the hook on Tracer, but it's already on cooldown, so he's just going to chase her back to spawn instead with that speed boost there from Mineral. So Luminosity Gaming finally regaining control of the payload. They push it all the way through the streets off the back of that first wipe, and the second wipe lets them get through the checkpoint into the third stretch. 2.5 minutes now for LDLC. They've been doing a good job so far. They did just lose their first map against this team, so they may be on the back foot a little bit, but they need to clean it up. They do regain control of the cart here, and they have no ults to work with for this next push, so they need to be careful against that Nano Boost and Death Blossom.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, it does seem like they have a potential answer on the side of the defense. They need to be very careful right now. Good Bio Barrage on to the Reaper, but that's just not enough to take him out. He's able to clean up the fight almost immediately. The defense needs to kind of just chill out right now. They might need to bring out the Bastion or something to potentially stall this point a little more, because 1 minute 48 on the clock, and there's just no answer on defense.
They're not even going to be able to touch, so Time Bank finishes with 1:44 left for Luminosity Gaming. Really fast A little bit of struggle in the Streets phase. Looked like LDLC might be able to hang on, but after they got knocked down on the Streets, they never really put up another good defense. They started to at the underpass, but the nano-boosted Death Blossom, once again coming in from Sini and Zave, saving the day and allowing Luminosity to get that 3rd point. Now they're on the defense. They had a really strong defense here earlier today, and we'll see if they can do that again against LDLC. LDLC, on the other hand, on the attacking side, getting an early look at their composition. I wonder if Clanton is going to stay on that Tracer. Icefeld did do the same, so it is certainly a possibility. We'll have to see if they can get that same Wrecking Ball offense that Luminosity managed, but I think Luminosity will probably stick to a more standard defensive setup positioning-wise.
Yeah, and I think the big takeaway from this is the fact on defense, the reason why they were doing so well early on is because they were saving specific ultimates, specific area control ultimates for that nano boost. They were saying like, okay, we don't need to proactively ultimate, we don't need to win this fight. All we need to do is wait until you nano boost, you burn a lot of ultimates, respond in kind, make sure we can kite out the remainder of the damage and win. Now, unfortunately, on that last push, they had no big ultimates to really sustain that last fight, and they should have known in their heads like, well, Ana generates ultimates so quickly, we should play extremely safe. Let's make sure, you know, let them come to us. We're no big hurry to do any of this. We don't have any ults up to that can really defend it. And maybe taking that approach, and maybe they will have held it for a little longer, but at the same time, you know, hey, they have to change around their mindset. You know, we're on offense now. We need to think about how we can push through and how we can punish the opponent's team.
It's interesting they're going with essentially 0 verticality and no way to climb these walls. There's no D.Va, no Winston, no Genji, no Pharah for the attacking team. So they are going with a relatively death ball sort of composition. Tracer being used instead of a Reaper, though, is kind of interesting. We'll see what Clanton can do. He's actually darting off ahead of the team to try and figure out his route, possibly do some scouting information on the defensive positioning as well. Zenyatta in the back left could be a good target for Clanton if he gets up in time.
Yeah, and he's just wandering around the back line trying to divert attention, but meanwhile his team is creeping onto the site, and it's totally fine right now. I don't think the team side of LDLC really notices anyone in the back line, and man, I think they could be in for a little bit of trouble because they do have their entire back open, totally open for Manitin right now. Magic gets a huge hook, hooks Clown, and immediately pulls Clown to his death, and that's the big big pull that they needed. Unfortunately, Sini able to get out alive, even though he's fairly low right now, and the defense able to hold primarily off the back of Rust. You're getting 2 great kills right now, and Sini taking out Ube despite being low previously. So I think this is a great composition to initially have. Icefeld as well, playing that soldier, able to get a lot of sustained damage out of long ranges. So definitely look for him to potentially be a big presence with his tactical visor.
Well, they're definitely not going to get stomped out like the enemy team did on A. That was a really good play from Manitin, like you said. I noticed him following the Tracer, and I was wondering if he was going to hit that hook on Clanton, but then ended up getting the kill on Clown instead. A very, very valuable pick to get things started, and they actually secured a whole tick during that fight, even though they got kind of, stomped out. Did manage to actually get a little bit of progress, and now they're starting to do it again. Mesomorph already on the point. They secured a second tick. No one's just standing on the point to try and battle against them. Zave with the Zoom Yada saves the day. Sini with his blade out could get quite a lot of damage in as well. As he puts it away, he is going to actually get Ube knocked off the side, so defense hold again. Great play there all around. You could see the kill feed actually with all different members of Luminosity Gaming contributing, and LDLC will be regrouping again. They haven't gotten, as weird as it is, they've gotten 2 ticks, but they haven't killed basically anything. So they definitely cannot allow them to get that 3rd tick for free. This time they should be playing on the point itself.
Yeah, I think it's fine, honestly, to let them get that tick on as long as you can know you can win the continuing team fight. As long as they don't capture, I think you're fine. But I do agree. I think they need to react a little faster. And Sini getting hooked so much earlier by Ube, and that's that's not good. You don't want that immediately. Unable to get that Dragon Blade immediately up, and now they have to fight this. They have to contest it. This is where the game, letting them get that 2 ticks is actually coming back to haunt them, because there's not that much they have to stay on there for in order to finish the rest of this point. That great sound barrier, able to connect and heal and offer some additional health. But in the backline, Zave takes down Clanton, which is huge when Zenyatta could win this fight. Zave takes down Ube, and this is ridiculous. They're just able to out-sustain the fight right now.
Yeah, again, it's the supports and Genji that end up living Icefeld up on the top ledge, basically not being challenged, because who's going to do it? Clanton on McCree is kind of the only person that can even shoot up there. If the hook misses, then you're out of luck as Roadhog. So the defense definitely matching what the offense is throwing at them, and offense have not switched it up at all, except for Clanton switching off of the Tracer onto McCree at some point. So still no verticality, still no way to jump up there on the top right. They're just basing everything on the fact that they can push in, start that capture going, and force them down onto the point to battle against them. But it's not working when Icefeld doesn't need to go down. They are going up the stairs now to try and address him this way instead.
Yeah, and this is the big news right now. Sini is at 97% as well as Zave with that Transcendence. So the Transcendence basically what it allows to do is creates room for the Genji in the background to stay alive even longer. And right now, unfortunately, gets the nano boost on, that bio grenade on top of him. So he's not able to survive as much in that Graviton Surge. Pulls everyone extremely close together, and that's just, that was kind of a weird interaction, honestly. From my point of view, it was really about all that Ana in that fight, because the moment Sini gets hit with that bio garage, he isn't able to utilize that Transcendence as a benefit. He isn't able to heal, he isn't able to sustain through damage, and at the end of the day what happens is he just gets picked off, and he gets low enough where he's not willing to take the risk and deal as much damage. So definitely good play on the side of the offense, definitely heads up behavior there, but on the defense, I mean, they should be fine sustaining this point out a little more. There's only 2 minutes left on the clock.
Well, I bet they're, and super glad that they were able to take A finally by just switching up their approach a little bit. Finally, looping around the backside there did pay off for them in the long run. They just had to dislodge that DPS. Icefeld even started his Soldier ult, and it was Ube with the Roadhog hook to put an end to that. So we mentioned Soldier didn't really have a lot of counters from this composition, but one basically either McCree headshots or Roadhog hook had to happen, and they got the one of the 2 that they needed to continue this push. And Luminosity Gaming unable to defend at the bus. We've got a hook into the Roadhog. He could fall, but he actually gets behind the Reinhardt shield in time. Whole hog coming out from Ube. Could get a lot of damage into the people in the streets there. Just tons of hit confirmations there. Ana boosting the Reinhardt, but he runs in, gets CC'd with the flashbang as well as the hook, and cannot get the kills that you normally expect there. Ube and crew backing way up now, though, as Luminosity have finally reclaimed the cart. This fight will be a bit extended. It's still 5 members for the defense and 4 for the offense, but they don't want to really necessarily battle this outnumbered. Graviton Surge grabs several members, but they don't have the follow-up at all. Sound Barrier keeps them all healthy. We've got Dragon Blade out now from Sini trying to find some kills. He gets hammered down by Mesomorph, unable to get any kills for it. So offense still pushing here. They got a couple of ults. Clown uses Sound Barrier. Earthshatter comes out, catches only Mana 10. That is enough to keep him out of the fight at least. Graviton Surge now for the defense. Earthshatter for the defense. This should be a full cleanup now with Nano Boost and Whole Hog, 4 ults being used to reclaim this cart, but they do eventually do just that, and Cabal falls with a staggered death to buy them even more time.
Yeah, that was super weird because it looked for a moment that the offense was able to take the point, but they had gotten kind of pushed them back to the point where, you know, the respawn on the side of the defense wasn't incredibly long, whereas on the offense, it's still a long way from where they are right now. So I think it's just over the halfway mark where it's a little, I think it's honestly just halfway, so defense is able to regroup relatively quickly, bought enough time for them on the other hand, but Ube, with that Whole Hog, is able to push people back, so he's mainly going to be looking for saving it potentially for, I want to say, for the Nano Boost, but instead he just uses it instead, knowing that, hey, Mesomorphous can potentially take care of everything for him, takes down Ruster, so that's a big Nano Boost target on the side of the defense, taken out immediately, and in the background, there's just so much disruption. They're going for that, mainly that Genji Nano Boost himself, but he gets sleeped, and there's nothing he can really do about it. Man, LDLC continuing this great push.
Really strong stuff there. Great combination of plays just throughout, and 5 members standing after all those ultimates came out for the side of the defense. Is actually just very impressive. Cini does still have his Dragon Blade. He didn't have it when he got nano boosted. I think he was just expecting to get a little bit of damage in and then go from there, but the fact that he got slept shut him down completely. They met the checkpoint, so they've got 1 minute and 10 seconds here to try and get that 3rd point. If they can't do it, though, Luminosity Gaming will take the map and the series win. So it all boils down to this last 60 seconds here. We've got Cini's Dragon Blade out, swiping away, finds Cabal very quickly, looking for Clanton now, has to back out with the deflect up. Even though he's at full health, he may have been able to continue going there, but Yubei shuts it down with the hook. There's a very confusing hook there out of Manatson, grabs Yubei, but can't get him around the corner. It doesn't matter, though. Luminosity Gaming have regained control. It is going to be the offense impetus now to try and make this happen. Mesomorphous, I am looking for that nano-boosted Earthshatter again. We'll put all eyes on him as we get started here. What could be the last push here for LDLC.
Manatson needs to keep his Whole Hog and needs to use it specifically to push back the nano boosted threat. He can't really use it on anything else, and exactly what he's doing. He's making sure that, you know, the enemy Reinhardt can't get anywhere close, and that nano boost kind of almost goes to waste, which means that's another tool that the offense had to push away and gone. But in response, that great Graviton surge into that, that nano boost on Ruster. But Ruster gets pushed all the way back by Mezzo, so that doesn't even make sense on that end. LDLC going for this last push. The defense just doesn't have enough people. This doesn't have enough people alive, and they aren't able to stall out the rest of this fight. They're going to be saving us in overtime. I mean, luckily they were able to finish it, but they have 0 seconds on the clock. I mean, it's all on LG right now with 1 minute and 44 left to see if they can push through, and this is intense. I would not be surprised to see LDLC bring out something cheesy, something they know, hey, all we do is stop them on this one push. They only have 1 minute 44 seconds. It's not enough time to, you know, it's not enough time to spare. If they lose like an Ana early on, they lose a Genji early on, that 1 minute 44 goes by so quickly.
Yeah, it's still anyone's game here, actually playing for the draw as 0 seconds left on the defensive side. If they do manage to full hold here and it's 3-3, I believe we do a control map to determine the winner. So we'll see if that ends up having to happen or not. It's going to be completely up to Luminosity Gaming now to try and end this one here and send themselves into that grand final. Can they do it? I don't know. It's going to be a tough job, as we've seen these teams are incredibly close so far. That Kings Row very, very close. Numbani, though, being a bit different overall so far, as the defenses have had just entirely different looks. To start us off, it is going to be LDLC coming back to this right side ledge rather than the far ledge this time around, and I think that's the right decision. This is kind of the best place for a reason. There's a reason defenses ended up in this area. It's because you can watch that high hallway, ledge side, and main all very easily and react quickly.
Yeah, and they're making sure to not allow that initial push that they saw last time, but you know, LG not really taking this, you know, they're not in a rush right now. They have Cini on the Genji. They're more than willing to let this just build up, and they're approaching to that same side right now. They're saying like, well, all we need is a good pick, and I think we can win this game. But does anyone notice where Cini is? Man, great pull. Zave almost goes down and does go down, so that is a huge, huge change. And there's not enough time anymore. They just get cleaned up so quickly. They need to die right now and rephrase what exactly they want to do. Cini luckily still alive with 58%, but the main problem here is Zave died with only 30% on his ultimate. So that nano boost is going to be hard pressed to be ready just in time for that 1 minute.
That hook was so close. I thought he could have not ended the game, but at least definitely improved their chances. If that hook had connected and he got the combo kill on Genji, it would have just been so brutal. But now, as it is, Sini's at 96%, definitely going to have Dragon Blade available during this fight. But you can see the offense actually stepping onto the point already. I'm going to take third person because you never know what is going to happen here. Mesomorphous with that nano boost very quickly. Earth shatters and catches several members, so the defense hang on yet again. Manatin gets a kill, but it's not enough. They're all the way back in the streets, the attacking team here. And with Sini finally getting back to the fight, Dragon Blade comes out. He finds Ana very quickly, going for Clinton on the Reaper. Does get the kill during the reload. Great stuff there. Deflect trying to get some damage into Manatin, but the sound barrier will keep them alive. It's a nano boosted whole hog now for Manatin, trying to keep this push alive. Can he do it? Looking for Clown. Can he get the hook? No, but it's still the offense standing on the point. They've got McCree, Reinhardt, Roadhog, and Ana, and Lucio all standing now. Things are looking great for Luminosity Gaming. With only 2 seconds left, they are capturing it in overtime. There's a contest from Lucio, but the hook combo takes him out immediately. Reaper is the last chance here for LDLC, and as he falls, so does LDLC out of the tournament. Luminosity Gaming re-grabbing control of this series and moving on into the grand final. Excellent Numbani for them. Good payback from the winner's bracket map that they lost against LDLC, and they won at the right time. They're going to move on to that grand final and play for that $1,000 prize pool.
Yeah, that's all they need to do, and that was all about Sini at the last moment, showing a lot of discipline with his ultimate. He did not rush at all. He was zipping through, doing a lot of damage in the back lane, not really pulling out his Dragon Blade, because he knew, look, if I can't convert on this specific Dragon Blade, I won't be able to win the game, and this is our main win condition. But he was able to buy enough time for his team, taking out some of the high-priority support characters to prevent any additional sustain on the side defense, to convert that game into a win. And I mean, that was just stalling out. I mean, they stalled out literally until the nano boost on the Roadhog basically changed the entire fight at the end. But props out to Sini for being able to do that, and obviously good mindset from both Zave and I can't remember who the Roadhog player was, but both great mindsets. Yeah, both great mindsets from them in terms of turning that fight around at the very end, not stressing, not all of a sudden panic ulting or anything like that. So good head on the shoulders right there.
All right, and that will determine our next match. Mesomorphous is the lobby leader, but he's on the wrong team, so maybe if he leaves, we can get a new lobby host for the final match. It's going to be NWA. Ninjas with Attitude is what I'm told, and we've got, of course, Luminosity Gaming on the other side. So good final prep for you guys. It will take probably a few minutes to get everyone set into the lobby, so I'm going to take a quick break, scribe, catch a breather. We're going to put on some music as we get prepped for the final match of the day. It is going to be Luminosity Gaming versus NWA. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back relatively soon here, and I'm going to put up some music for you guys.